Heavy vehicle drivers are considered an at-risk group regarding healthy eating habits, especially due to the limited food choices on the road. A recent study found that 70% of Australian drivers don't meet the national guidelines for a healthy and balanced diet. In Australia, 90% of drivers have been found to be overweight and 60% obese, making obesity amongst truckies almost twice as prevalent as in the general population. Skipping meals, snacking more often, choosing foods rich in saturated fats, or having sugary drinks has been linked to shift work. These habits not only increase the risk for obesity, but also for developing metabolic changes and chronic diseases, such as diabetes. Studies have found that Australian drivers consume more unhealthy food and drinks per day than national recommendations. And researchers also found that younger drivers have unhealthier eating habits than older ones. Besides the influence of socio-cultural factors, it's believed the findings can also be the result of older drivers having formed eating patterns in times when processed foods were not commonly available. Given the sedentary nature of the profession and the complexity of the body, common metrics such as body mass index or BMI can be misleading. For instance, a low BMI doesn't necessarily indicate being healthy.
I make sure I have a healthy diet because I think that's important in how you perform during the day. I feel good because of what I eat during the day. I mean, I start breakfast, then lunch, and then I go home and have my dinner. But I sort of generally graze during the day, like a bit of fruit or a bit of nuts that I've got in my lunch bag. Having a coffee first thing in the morning, which sort of helps you a little bit. But in that aspect there, I think it's important to have a proper diet. I mean, a good wholesome meal is good to have. I mean, I tend to sort of look at takeaway shops and I look at that and the price. I thought, no, I can bring food from home that's a lot better nutritious than what's in the takeaway shops. But sometimes it's good to have a bit of a shortcut, but not a real healthy diet.
What you eat affects your body, affects your mind, affects your energy. Yeah, so it's got, if you feel good with what you're putting in, it's going to benefit you in the long run. So yeah, everything that you eat, it affects you. So if you're eating junk food, you're going to feel crap. Like day after day, you're not going to feel great, and it will show, I guess. You know, what you put in is what comes out. It's all reflected.
Healthy food choices would be having cereal in the morning with a bit of fruit, yogurt. Lunch would be, it's either way of having cut sandwiches or food that you bring from home, which is leftover dinners like chicken with vegetables, which you could probably heat. And at night, whatever the cook cooks at home.
Meal planning's massive for people, so that's inspiring. If you're cooking dinner, you know, if you're cooking a healthy dinner, maybe cook a bit extra. You can always freeze your meals. I find that helps me, like being a busy mum, being busy with work, pre-planning the kids' meals, like just, yeah, thinking ahead of time. Like, it is hard though, you got to be organised, but buying the healthy groceries and then incorporating it, keep it simple. Like, pasta is healthy, tomatoes are healthy, you know, and then mince is healthy, like a bit of protein. Just healthy meals, keep it simple, make it in bigger batches. That's how I plan. I just make a bit extra, freeze it, then I've got it. Yeah, I buy easy sort of meals that you can chuck together, like your chicken breast or your salmon, just keeping it simple.
Well, the diets I see as, when I was doing my training, as a pyramid diet. Now, they call that the Mediterranean diet. I don't know if you're aware of it. That's grains, flour, carbohydrates, meat, fish, chicken, vegetables, dairy. I think they all play a big role in it, in a healthy diet. I mean, some people are lactose intolerant, which they can't. So, in other words, they can use other shoots from that. The meat is still there, chicken and fish is still there, and vegetables are still there. So you're still getting that nutrition out of a healthy diet.
Failing to plan is planning to fail. Take some healthy snacks with you on the road. Before the journey starts, check healthy food options along the route or ask your colleagues for recommendations. Keep your body and brain well nourished. Take small steps towards building a diet that supports your mental and physical health. Start by scheduling your meals, defining portion sizes, and planning around 5 veggie portions a day. Make healthy part of your routine. Making healthy food choices doesn't mean making additional decisions or buying more food. It's about the how. Make decisions that prioritize your well-being and make choosing health a habit. Look for trusted resources that offer well-being guidance. For healthy eating habits to stick, you need to understand how they relate with other parts of your life, such as sleep, mood, and work. Talk with your GP, and if you want to, ask to see a dietitian. Different foods cause different reactions. Food types might cause distinctive reactions depending upon the time of day. Note the foods that energize you, but also those that make you sleepy. Are there differences between morning and afternoon? How do you feel after lunch? It takes time, intention, and attention to know your body's responses.
I'm actually a type 2 diabetic these days. So I've got to watch my diet and that sort of thing, because that has a big bearing on fatigue. Being type 2, if I stopped and bought something with a lot of carbs, it makes you feel crap and sleepy too.
Workday, to be honest, I don't really eat much during the day. That's to be honest. Mine's more at night. So it's whatever I bring from home. I don't really want to buy out from the canteen or from a lunch bar or something like that. It's rather what I would just bring from home, really.
I like to bring brain food, so I have like almonds, peanuts, just like nut mix, all that kind of stuff, because I find like if I'm ever, like we were talking about before, if I ever feel like a rough patch on the road, I'll drink water and I'll eat something just to kind of like, I guess it helps me kick my brain into a bit more focus and wake it back up. So yeah, just like a lot of healthy food like that. I try to eat a lot of fruit. I just find like if I don't bring my lunch with me, I spend money on whatever I can when I'm hungry, and it usually tends to be not the best food to be eating, especially as a truck driver.
I'd rather bring something from home than go and spend $10, $15 a day buying something from the canteen. And if you're going to buy something from the canteen, you know it's going to be a bad choice, let's be honest. You know, are you going to go for the burger or are you going to go for the healthy sandwich? You're going to go for the burger because it's more than likely cheaper and tastes better, doesn't it, really, you know? So that's why bringing stuff from home is better.
Fast food, any kind of sort of pies, sausage rolls, like heavy carb loaded stuff, you know what I mean? Like I try not to eat too much bread, because I just find like when you're sitting down all day, a lot of food like that doesn't digest very quick. And like when you're not actually active or moving, that's when it just sort of makes you feel sluggish, and then I can also find that can contribute to fatigue.
Oh, you feel sluggish, I guess. You just don't run 100% like you should, to be honest. And you're on the road, so if you need to go somewhere after that, you can't. So you've got to be a bit more smarter about what you eat, to be honest.
I feel like once you do it once and you make that slip up, it's very easy it becomes a regular occurrence, you know what I mean? So I always find I have alarms set for when I eat, and I make sure as soon as that alarm goes off, meal goes in the microwave, bang, I eat that, because I know that as soon as I get hungry, and that's like, even with my food here, if I start to get too hungry, then that's when I factor in possibly buying something that, you know, is more on the tasty side, which is generally not the most healthiest.
Healthy eating is more like your sandwiches, your fruit, a bit of nuts, stuff that you can eat during the day, really. obviously you feel better, don't you? You feel a bit lighter, you don't feel as sluggish, you don't feel as tired, because having a big meal as well during the day, as you know, you feel like you want to go to sleep after it. So just eating lightly and all day if you want, you feel a lot better.
Make healthy snacks the most convenient option for your staff and follow the guidance of a dietitian or a trusted source on how to offer the healthiest foods in the most convenient way. Offer resources and training for drivers to better understand how their bodies respond to different types of food and how that relates to driving professionally. Health is part of a safety culture, and its promotion at the workplace is critical to incentivise and support drivers to make healthier food choices.